This is a bafang. One of my lights broke off, so I had to get another one. The thing is, I didn't have the washers like I had on this one. So in this over here, there's a washer, and the washer is allowing that to go in to the light, which is great because if the washers weren't there, then it would have to screw too far down and it wouldn't stay sturdy. I didn't have any more washers and I couldn't find them, but I was impatient, and as Paul can tell you, I never want to wait for the proper way to do anything in life. I just do it immediately, which is why over here, as you can see, there's no washer. But what I did, this phone will never let me zoom out. Piece of shit. There we go. Is I shoved a piece of metal under there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a big piece of metal shoved under there. It's not a washer, but it's a big piece of metal. Now, the next issue that I had is I had to wire the other light into my setup. And I also noticed that I cannot find my heat shrink, in addition to not being able to find my washers. However, that's not stopping me from putting this together. So if I don't have heat shrink for the wires, the question is then going to be, how am I going to keep these things from making contact with each other? That's a great question. How am I going to keep all these wires from making electrical contact with each other? Well, that's if I don't have heat shrink to go between the ground and the positive. Well, that's what this green shit UV paste is for, that you can get on store.rossmangroup.com. And that's what this UV pen is for, that you could also get on store.rossmangroup.com. And right now, I am curing it. Look at that. Look at that. It's fucking beautiful. There's a little bit of it that's falling on the floor, but that's cool. That's cool. We always got more. Let me just move the bike over here a little bit. Shove this shit in front of the bathroom. It'll make it a little easier for me. That's my bathroom, by the way. Isn't it pretty? And here we go. Isn't this beautiful? All right, a lot of that shit's falling off, but that's cool. This bike gets better every fucking day. This is where a cord that got ripped off of it when I smashed into the BMW. That cord goes nowhere. It goes to here. I forget what that. So yeah, we're gonna make sure that this is totally insulated. I want to make sure that there's no part of this that is exposed electrical wiring. Because exposed electrical wiring is unprofessional. I would never do something like that. So that's wrong. However, waiting until tomorrow to put this together is also wrong because I've been putting it off forever. And there's this thing with procrastination that I notice, which is when you put something off once, it makes it very easy to put it off again and 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 again. And I'm sick and tired of putting certain things off because I know that if I do that, they're just never going to get done. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to get this done now. And maybe it's not going to be in the nicest looking way possible. Maybe it's actually going to be the most disgusting electric bicycle in all of New York City. The electric bicycle that will be there as a means for lawmakers to say that that electric bikes should not exist and that the people that work on these things should be put in prison. Perhaps that is what this will be an example of in the coming years. Or maybe it'll be the exact opposite. Maybe it'll be a source of inspiration to everybody who wants to become a genius mechanic just like me. Are you Mirin my bike? When you look at this, I mean, when you say nasty things about it, are you really saying nasty things about it? Or are you just jealous? And are you Mirin? Because I've got the most beautiful bike in the world, and you don't. And I think the issue is that you're Mirin. I think that's what it is. You're all Mirin. And you just hate the fact that I got something that looks so fly. Whereas you're just stuck with your crappy ass cars and pedaling and sitting in traffic and all that horse shit. Now we're just going to wipe off the excess. That's a lot of fucking excess. Grumpy Cat, this is a fucking quality made bike. This is beautiful. Hello. Rad bikes are illegal because they have throttles, says somebody. Yeah, because that's definitely not a throttle. That's just, I like having a red spinning thingy on my handlebar. By the way, that's Mr. Me Too on my bathroom over there. See that? He's always watching when I pee. I call him Mr. Me Too. Mr. Me Too. Okay, so this should be good enough that this shit doesn't touch and blow up. Now the fun part here is going to be turning on the battery, then turning on the light switch, and seeing if this piece of shit actually works. So the thing that's unplugged over there is not really important. That's for the motor. I want to see if the lights work. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, that is some blinding shit right there. They're pointing downwards so that they don't blind people. I got them, but now I have a left-right spread. So before I only had the left light because the right light did not agree with the couple. It didn't like getting the crash into the BMW and the other crashes. So the right light had seen better days. But now I've got a nice spread because before I only really had the left, not the right. And so these lights are kicking ass. I've also got this thing over here, which is my charger. So this charges my GoPro and charges my phone, and it's a fast charger. It's not that cheap piece of shit knockoff charger. This will fast charge 2 USB-C devices at once. I'm talking 9 volts, 1.6 amps, just beautiful. Mwah. Okay, I probably should put a little bit more UV on there just in case. So I'm also going to try not to look at that shit because it's not good for your eyes. Paul's watching. He probably knows what this is. If not, well, I'm sure he won't be mad. He'll understand. This thing's a work of fucking art, man. This is a tire that doesn't match this one. So the tires don't match. The tires don't match because I popped this tire and I did not have the Schwalbe Marathon Plus, which is my favorite e-bike tire. I didn't have that, so I had to go back to the stock tire. This is the fender that I broke off because I was trying to fit that trunk on the back, but I couldn't get it on the back, so now I have half a fender. That is a tail light being held in place by zip ties. That is my buffang. That is a broken reflector from BMW crash. That is my speed sensor being held in by zip ties. That is my Pride Pepe. I have a Pride Pepe over there. This here is my beautiful wiring system. That's just, look at that. Is that not beautiful cable management? That is my suspension that is no longer tied to the adjustable lever thingy because of hitting a BMW. This is my screen, which has a couple of minor scratches on it. This is my not a throttle, pretend throttle. That's definitely not a throttle. Those are some hydraulic disc brakes. That is the XT90 connector that I got on here to replace the shit ones that come with it that really are not made for this amount of power, but as you can see, I fucked up while soldering it together. Two things you'll notice I fucked up. The first thing you'll notice that I fucked up is that one of these pins is sticking out of the plastic because there was too much heat. The second thing you may notice that I fucked up is that the positive is actually in the negative end on both of these. But this is, and if you really look in here, if you want, that's where the 12-volt converter is. But if you open this shit up, this is where the real fun starts. Because this over here, this over here, that is my cell phone charger. And that's the USB-C cords coming out the bottom of my cell phone charger, which I make liquid proof by putting it in this awesome bag over here, which is totally, this is IP6, this is more IP68 than a fucking MacBook, let me tell you that much. You may think, Lewis, that does not look like it's going to hold up to IP68 standards. But what I can tell you is that this bag right here with the hole and everything, all this shit sticking out of it, the rain goes this way. So it's never actually going to make its way into the bag because of gravity. And that is actually more IP68 than any MacBook you will ever see. Again, don't be jealous, don't be Mirin. And Buffang. Buffang. All right. So as you can see, my system that I've used here, this advanced system to ensure that the wires and the lights are not touching each other, has worked. And if you want this beautiful system, you can get this stuff right here. You can get this UV pen, and you can get that UV conformal coating mask stuff on store.rossmangroup.com. If this is not a ringing endorsement enough to get you to buy cases of this, I don't know what is. Because the idea is very simple here. If somebody as stupid as me can use this shit and actually make it work, if somebody as dumb and foolish as I am can actually get this shit to work, then you can too. That's it for today. And as always,